Just a second here. I literally just sat down. I apologize. Whew. All right, let me plug you in. All right, I apologize. So tonight is a rapid fire Q&A. If you have any questions about Coturnix quail, go ahead and ask, and we will go as quickly as possible. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we go live right here on our YouTube channel, and we do more of a community setting. But tonight, I will only be reading the questions, and so we will get started here. And thanks for everybody showing up. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. Yes, and if you do have any questions about Coturnix quail, if you could put some question marks or exclamation points in front or at the back, I would greatly appreciate it so I can see it a little bit better. Usually our Sunday nights go for 2.5, 3 hours, and I don't care how long tonight goes. It's just questions only. So if you do have any, feel free to ask, and we will get started. I did want to mention that we hit over 36,000 subscribers tonight, or today. So thank you very, very much for all of you that have subscribed and liked and watched and shared. You guys are absolutely amazing. I really appreciate it. So thank you very, very much. I will be posting a video tomorrow. I think it's going to be a very interesting one about Coturnix quail. So make sure you check that out. And QuailCon is right around the corner. So, if you have any questions about QuailCon, you can ask about that as well. But all of that information is on our website at myshirefarm.com. There's a little tab that says QuailCon 2022. And I'd love for you to be able to check it out. Right now, we've got 29 states coming. And it's going to be pretty cool. It's September 3rd and 4th here at Myshire Farm. So let's see if we have any questions, shall we? Let's see. Again, everybody that's here, welcome. I'm only reading questions tonight, but I'm glad that everybody's here. Let's see. I do not see any questions, to be honest with you. So I will give you guys just a minute to get set up. I did miss last Monday's live. I was not feeling well. I was in quite a bit of pain. I was supposed to schedule it for Tuesday, and everything was taking me quite some time to do, so I just canceled completely. So I did not expect a huge turnout tonight or a lot of questions, but I am here if you need me, and I'd be happy to help if you can. So I'll give you guys just a second to set that up and ask any questions that you might have. I can tell you that this week we are going to be doing, tomorrow I'll be posting a video with Chris from Slightly Rednecked and myself, and it's mainly different ways to raise quail. I think it's going to be very, very helpful for a lot of people. I've got a fantastic bee video coming up this week. I'm making a fool of myself, and we're learning a lot, but I think it'll be informational and entertaining at the same time. And then I'll be doing an AI update later on this week as well. So I've got some good videos coming here this way. If you can help support the channel, you can like the channel. That would be great. Any donations to the channel, which is the $ in the comments section, will go to QuailCon, which I talked about briefly just a minute ago. And if you can find a video that you really, really like, that's really helped you or encouraged you or educated you with Coturnix quail, feel free to share that on your social media, and that would help the channel grow as well. So I'd appreciate all of that. I'm asking a lot, I know. Let's see. Brad says, hey, Zach, how do cottage laws affect selling eggs like Blues? I live in Texas. As long as you've got a small egg producer's license, you should be completely fine. Every state's a little bit different, so I hate to say exactly what, but from my understanding, all you need is a small egg producer's license, and you should be good to go. Melissa says, how do I introduce new roos to my breeding hens? That's a great question. I'll have two answers for you. I'll tell you how to do it, but a more in-depth answer for you to understand the process, the best thing to do is either go to our website and go to the blog section. And in there it says introducing new quail to an existing flock. You can read that and it will go step by step on how to do it and explain why. We also did a video on that not too long ago. Well, I guess it was a while ago, but you can put in the search bar on YouTube, introducing new quail to an existing flock by Myshire Farm. And that video will come up that's going to be able to give you much more information than what I can do right now. But long story short is what you want to do is you want to take all the hens that are in that cage, put them in a small box, like a post office box where there's no light, put them in there, disorient them, put the male in there as well. And then in about 45 minutes to an hour, you put them all back in the cage and they should be fine. Jeff says, how far out is shipping on Jumbo Wilds? Up to 8 to 10 weeks right now. Right now, I'm about 9.5 weeks out if you order now, but it all depends on when you ordered. We're going to try to get caught up as quickly as possible. So, I mean, I'm getting, I don't know, about 12 to 14 orders out a day. But we had a lot of orders on the first day that I put them on, which was, I think, April 1st. So if you order right now, it's going to be about 8 to 10 weeks out. Mandy says, is inbreeding something you have to worry about with these birds? If so, how do you rotate and account for this? It's really not. No. I mean, as long as you get them from a good breeding stock, you really don't need to worry about inbreeding for about 3 years. Introduce some new blood, some new males or some new hatching eggs, and you'll be fine after 3 years. But you really don't have to worry about it as long as you're getting them from a good stock. It's a good question, though. That's a very good question. Rachel says, how do you know the difference between male and female Pharaoh-Catrinix quail? Just got brand new babies. Well, at 3 weeks old, they're feather sexable. So the hens will have a speckled chest. The males will have a rusty red chest. But if you go to our YouTube channel, you go to the playlist section. There's a playlist called All About the Colors. There's one about the Jumbo Wilds. You can watch that, and it shows what the average size is, how many eggs they lay in a year, life expectancy, how to sex them, what they look like, and all that jazz as well. Women of Spirit says, can I give my quail city water? A lot of people do it and have no issues at all. Yep, absolutely. Is not really a problem at all, from my understanding. I don't have city water, I have well water, but they do fine on that, and my well water's bad. Karen says, Zach, I got a problem with birds slinging feed. What's the best feeder? Have a J feeder at the moment. Yeah, there's really not a good feeder for quail. If you put a little rack in there where they can't step on it, that helps a lot. But mainly we just reuse the waste. So if you put, a bucket underneath the feeder and try to put it in a sifter, that's what we do. That's what works best for us. But there's really not a no waste feeder. But I was pretty impressed with Chris from Slightly Redneck's feeder. It's pretty much just a Tupperware with a lid on it, and he put some holes in it where they can only put their head in there and eat. And there's very little waste. But we just put our waste into a sifter and then reuse it. Mel K says, my question is it best to start with adults or hatch my own eggs? I'm trying not to spend a ton of right away before I know if I like raising quail. Hatching eggs are a lot cheaper if you have an incubator. In my opinion, you're going to love the quail. And they produce so quickly that hatching eggs are a better resource for you because you can hatch them out. They're more yours because you hatch them out. And then on top of that, in 5 to 6 weeks, they're starting to lay their own eggs, and then you incubate those. So eventually you're going to buy an incubator anyway. Personally, I think hatching eggs are a better bang for your buck. But you could go either way. I mean, I don't think there's a wrong call. I think it just depends. I do have a video in our playlist called New to Quail and What I Need to Know. There's a video in there, and I think it's titled like did the quail or the egg come first, or did the egg or the quail come first? I can't remember what I named it, but it's something like that. And it kind of talks about the mindset of which one would work best for you. I would probably watch that and find out what works best for you. Dennis says, question. Okay, I'll start. What would you get by crossing Jumbo Wild and Recessive White? Well, eventually you'll get wild tuxedos. Depending on what genes you have, you could possibly get white wings, but probably not. Maybe, probably not. Most likely you would get wilds, whites, and eventually you'd start getting tuxedos. Rachel says, how do you know the difference between male and female Pharaoh-Caternix quail? Just got brand new babies. Congratulations. Same answer to, oh, maybe it was the same. I already answered that one. Tricked me. Yeah, so we've got a playlist. It's called All About the Colors. Check out All About the Jumbo Wilds, and that will give you all the information you need to know. James says, what's the hotel motel of choice of QuailCon 22? Hate to be staying at the place where the uncool kids go. You know, I don't know. I've never stayed in a hotel near me, which I think is a good thing. I haven't been kicked out yet. Yeah, I'm not too sure where everybody's going. I would join if you're coming to QuailCon, I would join the QuailCon group on Facebook. That would be a great place to ask that question and find out where everybody's staying. Katrina says, how do you separate costs for home versus business, especially early on? I'm thinking about tax stuff and expense stuff. That's a great question. And I don't know if I'm the best person to ask. Honestly, tax experts are fairly cheap for consults. I would get with one of them. They will break it down for you. That's what they've done for us. So I kind of know, but I don't think I'm very comfortable telling you that stuff because it is legal and it is this, that, and the other. So I understand it for me, but I'm not quite comfortable sharing that information with everybody else. It's a great question, but I am not a tax expert or a lawyer. But a lot of things can be written off. That's what I'll say about that. We just got a donation from Watkins Wildlife for $50. Thank you very much for your generosity. That is going straight to QuailCon to make it the best experience for everybody that's coming. So thank you very, very much for that. I really appreciate you. Marianne says, hi, Zach. I was wondering if you can turn eggs too much when they're incubating. I'm tempted to go in there and turn them more than the incubator turns them per hour. They are so cute. If they're turning per hour, then that's plenty. I don't think you can overturn, but opening up the incubator is not a good idea at all. We do ours once every 2 hours. You can do it once every 3. You could do it once every 4, and I don't think it affects too much. Ours is automatic, so we just set it for 2 hours and we're done. So I'd leave them alone, in my opinion. Melissa says, how do I introduce new roos to my breeding hens? We talked about that already as well. If you type in the search bar on the YouTube channel, introducing new quail to an existing flock by Myshire Farm, that video will come up. You can also go to our website, and in the blog section, you can go to the blogs, and one of them will say introducing new quail to an existing flock, and that will take you step by step on how to do it. Christine is in the house. Welcome. Kiwana. Oh, I butchered that last night, didn't I? Sorry. All right, so Michael says, Quail Quest Farms in Craig, Colorado, back again tonight. Blessings to everyone. How many chicks to square feet for brooder? So for the first 2 weeks and 6 days, I recommend 6 chicks per square foot. At 3 weeks old, I recommend you move them into a pen and move them, especially now that it's getting warmer out, and move them to 3 quail per square foot. And that is for grow outs and for breeders. But brooder time is 6 chicks per square foot. Kelly's in the house says, do you know if the roll type egg turner works good? Yeah, we had great success with it. I think we had over an 80% hatch rate on the roll, and it worked fine for us. We don't actually use those. We use the turners, but we tried the roll and it worked great. Holden Mitchell is in the house, said, I ordered my eggs a little over a week ago. What's the average wait time right now? If you ordered jumbos, it's 8 to 10 weeks out. If you ordered standards or colors or mixes, I believe it's 4 to 6 weeks out at this point. AZ Highland Homestead is in the house, and our first hatch, 4 got shrink wrapped. Tried to keep humidity around 60 with Barato Real 24, but it's tough when our humidity here in Arizona is 15% sometimes. Best ways to keep percentage high here. So yeah, for low humidity areas, it's better to put like a small piece of Tupperware in there, fill it with water, and put a washcloth or a rag or a sponge in there, and that will increase your humidity and keep it that way for about 48 hours, and then you just fill the water up. Christine says, question, if I order jumbo eggs now, when would I receive them? About 8 to 10 weeks right now, unfortunately. I'm sorry. They're really good. They're great quality. It's going to take me some time, unfortunately. And I promised I wouldn't take them back on the website. But our website, we are continuing to update at the very top with a message saying how long things will take. Catherine says, I have a hen with a full crop. Has been big for about 4 days. What can I do for this? Have tried no food for 3 hours, still big. I'm not too sure how to fix that. If we see any issues like that, we call. We just don't want it in the breeding program. So I've not really worked on that, unfortunately, to try to fix it. Maybe somebody in the comments might, so I would read the comments and see if somebody can help you out, but I have not really tried to work on that, unfortunately. Dennis says, what would you get if you cross recessive white with jumbo brown? We answered that as well. That is either wild tuxedo, wild, or white. Maybe white wing. It really depends on the gene that you're using. Bags of Love says, hi, Zach. I use a container with holes drilled in the sides. I have leftover quail food dust at bottom of the container. I've been throwing it away, or is it okay for them to eat again? It's okay for them to eat again. Absolutely. They'll still pick through it. So once the second time around, just throw it out. But yeah, they'll eat it again, and most of it. Holden says, how often do you clean out the cages? Clean out the cages. I don't know what you mean. Like taking the quail out and cleaning them? We do that once every 6 months. Cleaning the poop trays, we do it once a day. That should answer either way you were going with that question. Michael says, a very nice gal gave me a tip today when I was pricing PVC coated wire. She suggested spray on truck bed lining, a lot cheaper than coated wire, plus it has texture for footing. What do you think? We have tried that before. It is not very long lasting, unfortunately. It would probably still be financially worth it in the long run to keep redoing it. We have so many cages and they're so big that we just didn't do it. But we've tried that before and it just doesn't last very long. It's just the wire is so used all the time. It's not a bad idea. But with ours, it wouldn't work because of how many we have. But I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I think it would save you money in the long run. More work in the long run, but it would save you money. Angel says, when can you introduce fresh produce to quail? I'm not too sure how early you can. We've never tried it until we've moved them to the main barn, which is 3 to 4 weeks old. So you can start giving them fruits and veggies as early as 3 to 4 weeks, maybe sooner. I just have never tried it. Brad says, have you used plastic dip on wire, and if so, should I use it or not? I have not. I would assume it would work great, but I don't know. I've not actually tried that myself. Do the red or Rugine birds crossed with Rosetta make sex-link cross? I'm going to say no. Some people say yes, and that's completely okay. Technically, I guess you could take a Rosetta and a range and put them together and make sex links, but range and Rosetta do not breed 100% true, which means the sex links will not be 100% true. So it's a good thought in theory, but it's going to cause you heartaches generations to come, unfortunately. Sorry. Watkins Wildlife says, hi, Zach and everyone. Thank you for all that you have done for me. I would like to donate to 18 Under contest. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And yeah, you won the last contest, actually, or 2 contests to go, I do believe. So hopefully everything is going well, and best of luck to you. The wife says, glad you're feeling better, Zach. I got a little milk chocolate colored quail growing out of my Egyptian fee eggs. What color might this be? I got a little milk chocolate colored quail growing out of my Egyptian fee. I don't know. I don't know what that would be. I'd have to see a picture of it, unfortunately. Milk chocolate colored sounds like a Tibetan, or a growl. Growl would kind of make sense. A growl could make sense. I'm going to say growl, but I would have to see it. Again, Watkins Wildlife donated $50. So thank you very, very much for your donation. I really appreciate it. Woman of Spirit says, Zach, when will my Celadon egg order be shipped? I ordered under mixed and added a note. I do have it on the list. I think you're about a week and a half to 2 weeks out. But I do remember you being on the list because you are the last one that goes out with Celadons, and then we are done. Dennis says, sorry for posting twice, my bad. Not a problem at all. I'm usually delayed anyway, so it makes perfect sense. Bryce says, I have a watering system like the ones used on Wynola Ranch cages. Is there a way to sterilize that? Does it need to be sterilized? Cleaned out would be fine if you just wipe them out, turn off the water, clean them out, and then just wipe them out with like a sanitizer wipe. That's what we do. But you could go all out. You could sanitize. That wouldn't be the end of the world. But we do that about once a month with the troughs. Genuine Toe Tag says, I hatched out my white wings and got a couple whites. Is the genetics more of a white or a white wing? The genetics originally started with white. So, I mean, that would make sense. Douglas says, hello. Would you recommend using quail scissors to break the eggs for eating them? Yes, absolutely. I can't stand breaking open quail eggs, but with scissors, it's a cinch. Joe Sandy 1822 says, in bed with my stomach flu, just stopped in quick to give my thumbs up. Well, thank you very much for your support. I hope you're feeling better soon, and I wish you all the best. The wife says, also, what do you recommend for moving quail that are weaned off of heat on a long road trip, 9 to 12 hours? We are not selling them, just moving them. Put holes in a post office box, you'll be fine. It's fine. Put some bedding down or even some blue paper towel. Blue paper towels would be better. In fact, if you're 9 to 12 hours, just get a big tote, a plastic tote, put blue paper towels down. 9 to 12 hours, they really don't need food or water, but you could throw some feed in there. That wouldn't be the end of the world. Probably make them a little bit happier. But a big plastic tote, put some blue paper, automotive paper towels down, put them in there, put the feed in there, they'll be fine. I mean, put some holes for air. But Bloss says, what's the best breeding system to prevent inbreeding in a small flock? Honestly, if you're getting them from a good stock, you really don't need to worry about inbreeding, to be honest. Don't worry about it. I recommend once every 3 years, add some new blood, whether it's new males or new eggs or new hens or whatever. But that's every 3 years. You really don't have to worry about it. Priske says, if you are hand turning, are you rotating them a certain degree or just rolling them over for a complete rotation? Rolling them over for a complete rotation. Welcome, Jasmine. Glad you're here. G. Rubin says, how long can you keep chicks in brooder? Will you notify me via email when my eggs ship? Yes, we will notify you a day or two in advance before we ship, and then it's 2 to 3 days to ship. So usually you have about 5 to 6 days to get ready for them. And how long do you keep chicks in brooder? We keep ours in the brooder for 3 weeks. During the harsh winter, keep them in there for 4, but the rest of the year, 3 weeks would be fine. You can move them. Michael says, I'm supposed to be getting a Nurture Right 360 anytime now. I'm confused on how many eggs it will hold. Do you know? It's somewhere around 40 eggs, like 43 or something like that, but I can't remember off the top of my head. Chris says, would you recommend the quail pens from hatching time? Gotta use my gift card, but nervous about the high price tag. I don't know much about them. I don't know much about them. If you're on Facebook, you can go to either the Self-Sufficient Quail Facebook group or Quail Call Facebook group, and there's an admin on both of those, and she is PJ's Family Farm. She has the hatching time cages, and you can talk to her about it. I'm pretty sure she's happy with them. I have problems spending money. Like, an old rabbit hutch on Craigslist would work, so it's hard for me to spend that. But I have not used them, so I don't know. But PJ's Family Farm is a very trusted friend of mine, and I would check with them. It's a good question. I've learned so much by watching your YouTube videos and listening to these live chats. I absolutely cannot wait to get quail. I plan to order eggs from your website, but have to buy incubator first. Well, thank you very much, and thanks for the kind words, and thanks for watching. I hope that you're enjoying and learning, and we're actually going to be doing a lot of farm videos once it starts warming up, and hopefully you all can join with me and laugh at my mistakes and be excited in my accomplishments when I am trying to be more self-sufficient on the farm. So we're going to get a lot into that this year as well. But I hope that you're learning. Thank you very much for watching, and thanks for your future business. And if you need anything, feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to help. Barbara says, I have 2 quail with long curved beaks. Should I trim them? I have never trimmed a quail beak. If it's long, then it's not part of the breeding program, and it goes to either feeding my family or falconry or something like that. But I've never trimmed them. Some people have trimmed them. I don't have experience with it. Sorry. Holden says, love that you do this twice a week. I ordered eggs a little over a week ago. Thanks for answering my questions. I will get them out as quickly as possible. I do remember the name, but it's going to be a couple more weeks. But I will get them out as quickly as possible. And thanks for watching, and I appreciate you. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Little Ridge Farm says, I'm trying to figure out best brooder design. Any ideas? I like mine. We've got a couple videos on our website or on our YouTube channel about what brooders we use. We customize them. But, I mean, pretty much it's just a box. I mean, it's just a box. I like ours. You could check that out. If I had to do it all over again, I really like the galvanized water, like cow waters, and using that as brooders. Kevin and Sarah from Living Traditions Homestead use those once they get a little bit older, and works great for them. George used to use those all the time before he moved here for his quail. So, I mean, anything will work. You can also check out Dale's Quails. They sell brooders, and they're nice. The brooders are kind of like what we have, just on a smaller scale. Those are nice too as well. Art by Karen says, that makes sense. Oh, you're not talking to me. Go Big is in the house. Hey everyone, what colors would you like to make if you had all the right resources? I'm happy with what we got, to be honest. I'm not, we actually, so I'm working on, so there's 2 colors that are already done. I just have to introduce them, and I'm trying to get caught up with eggs first. There's 2 more in the research stages. One's a sex link that we're trying to build up, and one is absolutely just probably the most beautiful color we've ever seen in our lives. I mean, it is ridiculously beautiful. But those are both in the grow stages we've already produced it and researched it. Now we're just trying to grow the numbers. I'm not really interested in another color right now. Something might come along down the road, but right now I'm more worried about getting egg size up and weight on the colors up. I'm more at this stage. I'm more interested in improving what we have than trying to build anything else at this point in time. But that could change down the road. Saw a piece on hatching by a chicken expert who recommended that for mailed eggs, we not turn on the egg turner for 3 to 4 days to give the eggs more time to recover. Would you concur? No. I do not think that's a good idea with Coturnix quail. But everybody does things differently, so that's okay. But no, I don't concur with it. Redneck Rangers in the house. My pearls went into lockdown this morning as I found 3 babies running around the incubator this morning. I have 25-ish now. That is awesome. Congratulations. And best of luck to you. Go Big says, what recipes would you recommend for pickled quail eggs? You know, we've only done pickled quail eggs once ever. And I didn't even do it. My wife did. So I do not know. But if you go to Facebook, you can go to a group called Quail in the Kitchen, and it's all about recipes. Pickled quail recipes, meat recipes, egg recipes, and that's where you'd want to answer or get that information. Richard says, how long after moving will they come back to laying normal? It could take up to 2 weeks. It really depends on the stress. Like if you're moving 9 to 12 hours, then it's probably going to be about 2 weeks before they start laying again. So up to 2 weeks. Redneck says, my Rosetta and Range babies are coming out of the brooder as the pearls are going tomorrow. Awesome. Best of luck to you, and I hope you get a great hatch rate on both. Is it common for there to be like 30-40% of the range to have white markings? This seems high. Does seem a little high. The range markings on the white, 30 to 40%. I mean, I guess it depends on how many you're talking about. But 30 to 40% is pretty high. Yeah, that would be pretty high in my opinion. I agree. I have the same problem. Don't like spending money. Yeah, I've got a. It's a good problem. I just don't like spending money. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, hey, all from upstate New York. I'm late because I was starting my tomatoes and eggplants, getting a late start on this, on things this year for the garden. Well, that's okay. Hopefully it all went well, and congratulations and best of luck to you. Oliver says, 6 days into my first quail journey. Your video has been so helpful. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. Rami2 says, I'm actually worried if my quail eggs will hatch. I'm sure they will. Patience is something that quail will definitely teach you, I promise. Zach, we love seeing your human side. Shows you are not a robot. I make too many mistakes. I'd be recalled if I was a robot. Belinda is in the house. Welcome. Oliver says, had a scissor beak baby, called it, but am curious if there's any saving them. There's not. They typically will actually, I wouldn't say thrive, but they'll grow. Pretty decent to butcher, not the end of the world. I wouldn't put it in the breeding program. Most likely it had to do with the development of the egg, but could possibly be genetic. It's a small chance it's genetic. Either way, you really don't want it in the breeding program anyway. But no, there's really not a way to fix the crossbeak. But usually they do fine. Usually they grow just fine. Doug says, hatching time cages work great. Well worth the money, and customer support is awesome. There you go. Thanks for sharing. Charles is in the house. Welcome. AZ Highland Homestead says, can you use the Dale's Quails brooder for grow out? Yep, absolutely. We've done that. What age gap between hatching batches is okay to keep together? I only keep 1 week at the most. We've done 2 weeks, and sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's too much of an age gap, too much of a big size difference, and it can turn out disastrous. Not always. Sometimes it works just fine, but it's kind of a gamble, so I don't want to recommend it. So I only do 1 week at the most. Go Big says, we use the troughs, love them. I love the troughs. Absolutely, I agree. Jasmine says, for the question on trimming long beak, they could try a cuttle bone and allow the quail to fire. I have seen that before, follow their own beaks. I have seen a couple people do that before, and it's actually worked. That's a good idea, Jasmine. I've never tried it, but I have had a couple of customers that do it. Tommy's in the house says I took a rabbit cage and cut it in half and used 1 by 1.5 for the bottom. There you go. Awesome. Congratulations. I bet that's pretty cheap for you. Genuine Toe Tag says, is there a good use of the feed bags? We use it for waste, transporting. We don't sell them, but we give them to a couple of customers that use them for crafts and things like that. It's great for like my truck bed. Like if it's raining, we'll put the bags down. We always find a reason. Like we always find a source. Sometimes you gotta stack them up for a while. But eventually you'll go, I'm so happy I have these. They're great for planning too. Transporting and things like that. Yes, hit the like button, support the channel. If we could hit 100 likes tonight, I would be super stoked. Yes, I said super and stoked in the same sentence. And I'm old, but I still said it because age is just a number. Let's see. Belinda says, Dean and Belinda hatched 63 out of 87 in lockdown. Awesome. Congratulations. That's a great hatch. Congratulations. Were they yours or someone else's? Shipped or local. But either way, that's a great hatch. Congratulations. Carissa and Cole is in the house. How much is the going rate for a dozen quail eggs for eating? Wonder if I'm selling at an okay price. It really depends on your local area. I don't sell eating eggs. I only sell hatching eggs or our corporate accounts, which is a completely different ballgame. Yes, our corporate accounts are eating eggs, but it's a completely different ballgame. It's bulk and it's long lasting and we're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of eggs at a time considered to, a dozen. So it's hard to say. I think we were too low way back in the day, but we were selling them for 40 cents an egg. And we might have been too low, but it's location. Has a lot to do with that. G. Ruben says, how often do you eat quail? How do you usually prepare it? Almost always on the grill. I mean, we've, deep fried it and we've, done this, that, and the other and grilled it and cooked it and did different things with it, stuffed it. But 9 times out of 10, I grill it out. I like grilling out on the grill outside. So usually we grill. And how often do we eat it? I don't know. Twice a month, maybe. Crazy Chicken and Quail Lady says, I have a huge egg that died after pushing the egg out because it pushed her guts out, but I have a huge egg with 2 yolks. It happens sometime. Sometimes, unfortunately. It's prolapse, and sometimes it sounds like that was a pretty bad one, unfortunately. Tammy says, only one has hatched and no other pipping even going on. Can I raise the one chick all alone? Will it be okay? No, it won't. It might be okay, but they're pretty social. You would need some more. Belinda says, oh, nope, not talking to me. Nope. Okay, Jasmine says, Jumbo Whites weight versus Jumbo Wilds. I have several customers really wanting Jumbo Whites, and I have only focused on the Wilds. Do the Whites keep a large size well compared to the Wilds? Well, the Wilds will always be larger, but the Whites are big. I mean, the Whites are 13, 14 ounces. So they're only an ounce or 2 less, but they clean up much, much nicer. And they're usually more docile, so I don't think you can go wrong with either one. But yeah, the Whites are very comparable. If there was anything comparable to the Wilds, it would be the Whites. Crazy Chicken and Quail Lady, thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. Daedric Angel, I might have butchered that, but I'm sorry. Hello again from St. Louis. Just did lockdown yesterday with some local sourced eggs. 64 out of 72, 88% developed. This is my first time in incubating and so anxious for hatch. See you at QuailCon. That's awesome. Congratulations. Sounds like you're doing great. I wish you all the best, and I can't wait to meet you at QuailCon. I need 2 males and 10 hens, LOL. I will not be doing any live quail until they get this AI under control. We're only doing hatching eggs, unfortunately. Yeah, Psycho Word 360 says Jasmine mine are weighing, the whites are weighing in at 13 to 14 ounces, so they're very comparable to the wilds. Battleborn Urban Farms in the house in very windy conditions. Is it warm? If it is warm and windy, do you need to wrap part of the cage so wind can't go through? Yes. Yes, you do. Or is it only if it's cold? No. Any wind will affect them, and you really don't want that. So yeah, you'd still want to cover them. Richard says, I've been skinning quail. Does the skin test good enough to pluck? Does the skin test... I don't know what that means, Richard. I'm sorry. Iron Man Concrete Pumping is in the house. Hello from California, but don't hold it against me. There you go. Hidden Creek Quail, which was our last 1800 contest winner. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Jasmine says, not talking to me. Crazy Chicken and Quail Lady says, yes, I had a smaller quail, but a bigger quail stumped the little feller and was standing on top. Yeah, they're not so nice sometimes, unfortunately. Katrina says, I've used a cuttle bone before. It works, but you have to make sure they can access the soft side. Thank you for sharing. Ironman Concrete says, do you ever seal your wood on your cages? No, we don't, actually. Probably should, but we don't. Becca says, thank you. Just received 50 mixed standards. My first time. Super excited. That is awesome. Congratulations. And I wish you all the best. And obviously keep me posted. We did. We hit over 100 likes. Thank you very much for everybody that's watching. I appreciate all your support. Michael says, how do you find your products on Amazon so far? I can't find. If you go to the About section on our YouTube channel, there's an Amazon link. You can go there. It's also on our website at the very bottom. There's like a Facebook icon and a YouTube icon and an Amazon link icon. You click on that, it'll go to our Amazon store, but it is amazon.com/shop/Myshire Farm. And that is all of our Amazon stuff that we recommend and use. I use the feed bags to line my lockdown box with shelf liner on top. Easy clean. There you go. Will says, let's go 100 likes. We did 113 so far. You guys are absolutely awesome. I really appreciate it. And yes, I am super stoked, AZ Highland Homestead. Veronica says, sold 8 quail tonight and told family about your live questions. Awesome. Well, best of luck to, or well, congratulations on what you did, and best of luck to the family. And hopefully, if they have any questions, they'll get on here or they'll contact you, and you can help them on your journey. Also wanted to say I'm sharing the love for quail with a local homestead with chickens. I'm giving them some eggs from my king button, and Coturnix might end up selling them some live in the future. Very cool. Congratulations. Very exciting. I've trimmed 3 males' beaks before so they would be flat on the tip. They were very mean and was hurting the other birds. I mean, if you trimmed my beak, I'd probably be mean too, but I see what you're saying. Zach, I don't have text. My order number is 63384. Can you email me tomorrow's status? The incubator will be free by mid next week. If you could email me that, I will not remember that, unfortunately. But if you want to email me, I can definitely email you back. Steven says, is there a delay in hatching where they start pipping and then stop? Is it due to eggs of different age? No, you need to increase your humidity. If they start pipping and then stop, it's because the humidity is not high enough. You need to increase the humidity immediately. Crazy Chicken and Quail Lady says, I get $4 a 12 pack, but I also put an extra 6 in there for my customers. There you go. Thanks for sharing. Cycle Word says, I use fingernail clippers. It worked very well. Absolutely. That would make sense. That's a good idea. Is all quail have different tastes and meats? Nope. They all taste the exact same. It's just the feathers that look different. S. McKee says, I have too many quail, so I put 51 eggs in the incubator yesterday. Help? No, you're doing just right. That's exactly what you should be doing. Just keep going. It's fine. It's fine. Michael says, stupid question. Does the male have to mate every time for a fertile egg? No. Usually it's 3 to 5 days that the male wouldn't have to be in there for them to still be fertile. The egg that she laid was as big as new hen laying her first egg. Yeah, that sounds like a big one. I get it. James says, got to run, Zach. With any luck, next time y'all see me, I'll have a farm. Well, best of luck to you. I wish you all the best. I know you're trying to move, and I wish you all the best. I guess I'm going to need to get myself some Myshire Jumbo White hatching eggs as soon as I can. LOL. Thanks for answering my question. All you got to do is call me. I owe you some. That was misspelling. I think he wanted to know if the skin tastes good enough to make it worth plucking the bird. Oh, yeah, the skin tastes fine. I don't pluck anymore. I think it's a waste of time. It takes way too long, too much equipment. Then you have to clean it, then you have to prep it, then you have to put it away, and then you have to sterilize, and then you have to get it back out. So I just skin. But we have a plucker, and we've used it before, and it's been fine. The skin's good. It's just I'm lazy. Crazy Chicken Quail Lady says, you are a wealth of info. Thank you. Have you heard the bird flu is killing everything? Eggs are going for $8.99 12-pack in Cali. Jeez, that's ridiculous. I will actually be doing an AI video this week, an update, so check that out. Richard says, does the skin taste good enough to take the time to pluck? Not in my opinion. It's not worth the time. It is good, but it's not worth the time. That would be a good way to say it. And I probably should have figured that out when you were saying it the first time. Sorry. Whispering Pines, Caternix Quail says, hello everyone from Minnesota. Hope you're all doing great on this beautiful day. Absolutely. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Can we hit 125 likes before we end? That would be fantastic. Hit the like button, support the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Rachel says, how many females do you want for one male? 5. 5 hens to 1 male is what I recommend. Tammy says, my wilds are much sweeter than my whites. Really interesting. Interesting. Happy Hillbillies in the house. Welcome. Is it okay to just say hi, y'all, and have a good day? Absolutely. Welcome. We're glad you're here. Aaron's in the house. When collecting eggs for hatching, could you store them in an egg turner for the 7 days? Yep, absolutely. That would not be a problem at all. Sarah says, hey, Zach, just received my eggs from you on Friday. My temperature in the Nurturite 360 is anywhere from 98.9 to 100.5. Will this affect them at all? It's not great. I don't prefer it. So take a towel or a blanket and wrap the Nurturite 360 in it. That should insulate it, and that should give you a more stable reading. And we'd rather have a stable reading than fluctuating that much. I use Denigrade 12.5%. It's for swine, but with flu going around, I hope I can use it. There you go. Not tried that. Susan says, little quail hut, have you ever left the door open on a pen and lost them? Yep. And I get really mad every time I do it. Luckily, they're inside, so we catch them all. But, then they don't lay for a week or two because they jumped out of the cage and they've been running around all day. And yeah, that's actually on my to-do list every day now. So every day it's like I walk the line and just make sure all doors are closed because that is a disaster. Also a reminder of the Govee calibration video. It is on the list. I haven't gotten to it. I'm very sorry. But I do have it on the list. I'm pretty sure. Let me just check, but I'm 90% sure it's on my to-do list. All about the website, Sifter, calibrating Govee. It is on there. Josh's Punk Rock Garden says, my Govee isn't reading right either. I had an entire incubator full of eggs not hatch. When I adjusted based off the Govee, hoping my eggs I have now do better. Lockdown is tomorrow. Well, best of luck to you. I hope it goes well for you. Texas Caternix Quail Connection says the 49 of 50 hatch from your Myshire flock of mixed is 5 weeks old now, and man, are they super active. Should I maybe expecting eggs very soon? 5 weeks old. I would say within the next 10 days, you'll start getting eggs. Absolutely. Time and Timber Homestead says, when considering getting MPIP certified, what are the tests that are most important, and what are the benefits for a small homestead farm? Trying to decide if it's worth it. Yeah, I really recommend it. We talked about this at QuailCon last year. It's a great resource to have. And why did you do that? It's a great resource to have just to be able to ask questions and have someone to talk to in your local area. AI is a test that they do, and then Pelorum. Pelorum is not that big of a deal. I wouldn't worry about that. It hasn't been tested positive in the States in years and years and years. They're about to discontinue it. But AI is kind of important, but it's more of just like when we've had issues, that's a resource we can go to. And it's helped us out dramatically. So I really encourage everybody to do it, even if you're not shipping or crossing state lines. Crazy Chicken and Quail Lady says, I got 9 days left. I need to bump up the humidity to 65 to 72%. Well, good luck. I wish you all the best. And hopefully you get a great hatch. Bars Farm says, can anyone see my post? I think this is the first one. Oh, I think I might have seen one at the very beginning that said hi. But I haven't seen any since. Oh, I did not see. So I will wait. Bars Farm, go ahead and ask your question, and then we will finish up for the night. Right? Are you? Yeah, I asked. Yeah, go ahead and ask your question, Bars Farms, and then we will finish it up for the night. I'm going to look back while you're typing and see if maybe I missed it. If I did, I apologize. Oh, what am I doing? I can just search. No, I only have 2 from you. Let's see. La Rochelle Farm says, hello. When registering as a farm, is it just at the state level starting to look into it? Well, it's really not that much extra work to do national as far as registering for a farm. So it's really not that much extra work, and it's only like an extra, well, at the time we did it, it was like $40 more, and it's a one-time deal, so we just did it completely. For what you're wanting to do, you probably only need to do state, but you never know, so I would do everything just to be safe. Can the rumble off the thunder affect the hatch? No. No, I don't think so. Patrick says, just joining. Oops, can you ferment quail food for less waste? Absolutely you can. Yeah, they like it too. If there's anyone out with a YouTube channel, let me know. I'll like and share and subscribe. Absolutely. There's a lot of people on here. La Rochelle Farm and Time and Timber Homestead, possibly. I don't know if you've started yet. Sow and Tear. I mean, there's a lot. Absolutely. If I want to ship hatching eggs to a friend and we are not MPIP, is that a no-no? I can't tell you that. I can't tell you that. I wouldn't be shipping all over to all the states and just be selling them without being MPIP. But if you're shipping to a friend to help them out, it's a big deal. But technically, you're not supposed to. Jeruman says, can I ask the last question? No, not yet. You'd have to keep asking. I'm just joining. Oops, can you? Oh, I already answered that one. Patrick says, I have 3 kiddos that want to enter the 18 and under. Should they do one joint email? To be honest with you, I would have them do individual ones and a joint. It can't hurt. Can't hurt for as many entries as possible. Carissa and Cole says, how many days would you ferment quail food? I do not ferment my feed. I have, I go through, I don't know, 300 pounds a day. So I just can't do that. But yeah, I don't have a lot of experience with fermenting feed. We've tried it before when we were small, but there's no way I can do it now. So I cannot answer that, unfortunately. I'm sorry. That's right, Time and Tender Homestead. That is exactly how you should read that. They just laughed and we're so excited you answered. Thank you. Awesome. Well, best of luck to you. I hope you enter, and I wish you all the best. Hidden Creek Quail says, when referring to registering to the state and you recommend registering for everything, is there a list of everything you would recommend? Yeah, so, well, I guess it depends on what you're doing. If you are trying to register your place as a farm, it's really not that expensive. And when I say not that expensive, I'm saying in the long run. So I think we paid an attorney like $400, and we made it an LLC. We registered as a farm. We did 50% business for me and my wife, and we trademarked Myshire Farm, Myshire Farms, Myshire Quality Quail Farm, and Quality Quail. We trademarked all of those and did all the other stuff, and it was like literally $400. So, I mean, I'm sure it wouldn't be that much if you're just trying to register yourself as a farm. But to be honest with you, with stuff like that, I mean, you know, you don't cross a T or dot an I, right? And it could be void. So it really is better just to find an attorney that's willing to say, hey, this takes me 30 minutes. I'll charge you $100. And you go, man, you make a lot of money, but okay. To just make sure it's done right and sent in correctly and all that jazz. That is all the questions. We're about an hour, so that was a pretty good night. So thank you everybody for showing up. We had 132 likes and $50 in donations. I really appreciate it. La Rochelle Farm, aka Low Budget Production. Watch at your own risk. There you go. Well, thank you everybody for showing up. Tomorrow we are posting a video about Chris and I doing a video together. It was a lot of fun meeting up with him and talking. We did the video. We hung out for a little bit. It was a lot of fun. I'll be posting that tomorrow. I'll be doing a B video later on this week and making a fool of myself. So if you want to laugh out loud and laugh at me, you want to watch that video about the bees this week. And then I'll be doing an AI update later on this week with what we learned when they were testing us for AI earlier last week. So thank you very much for showing up. I appreciate it. And everybody, until next time, stay safe. And I will see you all throughout the week because I'll be posting videos, but I'll actually see you next Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time when we go live again for another live Q&A with the community. And again, and yes, thank you very much to Ed Got Bait and Verna Young for being the moderators on our YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. I've actually talked to both of them within the past 24 hours. They do a lot behind the scenes, so thank you very much. And all of the admins and leaders of the Quail community on the Facebook groups, I really appreciate it, and BYC. And that includes you, La Rochelle Farm, believe it or not. But all the Facebook groups from time and timber to PJ's Family Farm, to Katrina, to, I mean, all kinds of people help out on there. I really appreciate it. You guys are absolutely awesome. S.O. Swanson, absolutely. And so thank you very much. And we will see you next week. Until then, stay safe.